Okay, I think now all of you can see the screen and hear my voice clearly now. So let's begin today's webinar. First of all, thank you again very much for being here today. So next, I'm going to take about 20 to 30 minutes to give you an introduction about Vinchin's backup and recovery for virtual machine protection solutions. Then you can have a better understanding of our product and know how Vinchin can help with your business in a single and hybrid virtualization environment. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask in the chat box. Our technical engineer will be here to explain for you immediately. And we will also hold the last 10 minutes for the Q&A session. So I will go through my presentation from the following four parts for today. Firstly, I will show you our backup solutions and some related advanced features for the virtual machine backup. And secondly, I will show you the restore solutions and the related advanced features that we can provide for you. And thirdly, I will show you Vinchin's disaster recovery solutions to prevent the site disasters. And lastly, I want to explain with you how does Vinchin implement the security strategies to prevent any kind of the cyber attacks. So before going to the topics, I'd like to introduce that Vinchin software is based on the Rocky Linux system. The installation image is provided as an ISO file that includes the both Rocky Linux system and Vinchin backup software. You can install Vinchin either on the physical machine or on the virtual machine of the virtual platforms based on your demands. Okay, so let's get started. Let's begin with the first part, Vinchin backup solution for the virtual machine. Vinchin Backup and Recovery provides the comprehensive data protection solutions of the virtualizations. As you can see on the screen, Vinchin supports the market mainstream virtual platforms for the image-based agentless virtualization backup solutions, including the VMware, vSphere, the Hyper-V, Overt, RHV, and Citrix, and Proxmox. And in the meantime, Vinchin also supports backup copies to the offsite data center and backup archive jobs to a wide range of cloud platforms. And it allows users to take over the business in case a disaster happens on the primary site. And all the jobs operations can be done by one single unified graphic web console. So it is very convenient for our customers to manage it. As I mentioned before, Vinchin's backup solution for virtual machine is the image-based agentless. And you just need to add the virtualizations on the Vinchin backup server to build the connection. Then you can smoothly operate and manage all the backup and restore job on our platform. We support full incremental, forever incremental, and differential backup jobs with regularly scheduled time or once off the job. You can enable a variety of advanced features when setting up a backup job. For example, Vinchin supports both LAN and LAN-free transmission, and we also support the hot add transmission for VMware, the image I/O transmission for the overt and OLVM virtualizations to increase the transmission speed to the great extent. And for the data size reduction, you can turn on the data deduplication and compression options to largely decrease the backup data amount. And it is a built-in function on Vinchin Backup Server. And we also have the data encryption, the CPT, ransomware protection, and other key features. So I will talk to you with these key features for more details from now on. So let's start with LAN-free transmission backup. LAN-free is also known as the SAN backup, called the Storage Area Network. Vinchin supports the fiber channel, iSCSI, and NFS SAN. This means that if your virtualization environment has storage area network, you are able to directly transfer the backup data through the storage area network, not go through the LAN. Therefore, there is no impact on the business production area for your business. And another obvious advantage of LAN-free transmission is that the backup and recovery process through LAN is also highly efficient. This can minimize the backup window and minimize the possible business downtime. And next, I'm going to introduce you the forever incremental backup. Basically, it works in a way that you carry out one full backup at the beginning, and then all of the following backup jobs are the incremental backups and will be performed automatically. This is very useful and recommended backup strategy because for this, for the companies who have the requirements for the limited storage size, it is very useful. Because when performing the forever incremental backup jobs, the backup data size can be minimized, thus to save the storage to the greatest level. And besides, in this way, because of much less data size transmission, it is also largely reduce the backup window and impact on the production environment. And for the incremental backup, Vinchin provides another two advanced features, CBT and SpeedKit, to increase the transmission efficiency to the next level. So the principle here is that when you choose to turn on the CBT, it will detect the changed blocks of the virtual disk compared with last time backup data. And only backup of this detected changed data blocks. And what's more, you can choose to track change data based on the different block size. The smaller the block size, the more changed part will be detected. This depends on your needs. And anyway, with the CBT enabled, the backup speed for the incremental backup can be highly increased. But for some main virtual platforms, they don't apply for the CBT function, such as OpenStack, the OLVM less than 4.4 version, the N-server version less than 3 version. So Vinchin self-developed the CBT technology to replace the CBT function. So the functionality of the CBT is totally works the same as the CBT. And next is Vinchin's powerful data reduction tools. Vinchin supports the data deduplication, data compression, and bit detector, three ways to minimize the data size block. And it is a built-in solution, and there's no limitation for the dedicated storage device. And bit detector is Vinchin's unique self-developed function for the further reduce the backup size. So when enabling the bit detector, the detected file blocks, the swap file blocks, and the allocated file blocks will all be excluded and only backup the 100% valid data blocks. And next, Vinchin provides the flexible data retention options. You can choose short-term retention policy for retaining the recent daily backups to meet the nearline data recovery needs. Or if you have need to retain the backup data for much longer period, we also provide the long-term retention policy, also known as the very famous GFS, grandfather, father, son retention policy. You can keep all the full backup data points on a weekly, the monthly, and yearly basis. This allows you to return the data even for decades. And in addition, if you want to permanently preserve the data, you just need to set the forever retention tag for the specific backup point, just operated on our backup data management page. And next, I'd like to introduce you with the function of backup data verification. Vinchin supports the data verification for VMware to test the availability of backup data. The basic principle is that firstly, add an isolated verification lab by creating a lightweight gateway proxy and set up an isolated network in this lab to use it to imitate the real production environment. Then we can establish a new virtual machine here and use it to test the corresponding backup data availability through the instant restore technology. And we offer the ping, the heartbeat, the screenshot, three ways to check the status of the virtual machine. You can set up once of the manual verification job or schedule the automatic verification jobs daily, weekly, monthly, based on the latest backups. And you will also get the verification reports automatically once the job gets done. So with the result of the reports, you can check whether the data of the virtual machine is good for use with no virus, no damages for the data to the virtual machines, and to guarantee the virtual machines that is always ready for the recovery. So with Vinchin's backup and recovery solution, you don't need to worry about the environment size for the virtualizations. We support the multi-node deployment for the scalability. You can scale out the backup infrastructure by adding the multiple backup nodes if your environment is very huge, when excluding the 200 virtual machines or 50 TB data size. We support up to PB level data size environment by using our software. You can managing all nodes just by connecting to our backup server. Then it can realize that all jobs and management can be done by a single web console, and the operation can be also can be very simple and convenient because you can just operate on our main Vinchin backup server. Besides, another benefit for this is that adding the nodes helps to split and share job nodes, so it can speed up the backup data transmission in a large environment. And Vinchin's solution is applicable for a wide range of the scenarios, no matter your company is small to medium-sized business or large enterprises with branch offices. We can provide the suitable and tailored data protection solutions and suggestions based on your demand. For example, for small to medium-sized business, we recommend that deploying Vinchin backup and recovery on the existing virtual platform. Then you can back up all the virtual machines and just store the backup data in a storage like a NAS device. In this way, this will largely save your hardware cost. And for the large enterprise, Vinchin is capable of providing the backup and recovery solutions to PB level data size environment. You can just simply deploy the multiple nodes, as I mentioned before, and connect the nodes with the Vinchin backup server. Then you can do all the backup jobs and management work on the single unified backup web console, which is really easy and convenient to operate. And also, there is no extra license fees for the node expansion. So this is also a really cost-saving solution with a universal license for all the jobs get done. So for this part, I will introduce you with our virtual machine restore solutions and the related advanced features that we can provide. So Vinchin offers multiple recovery ways. You can choose full restore, granular file level restore, and instant restore based on your demand. If you face with the hybrid virtualization environment and want to restore cross platforms, Vinchin totally supports that. We support most of the market mainstream virtual platforms, cross-host or cross cluster migration and recovery. You can carry either on full restore or migration or the instant restore for maintaining the business continuity in some emergency cases. So for a full virtual machine restore, you can do single and batch virtual machine restore in one job at the same time. We support cross-platform and cross-cluster restore with customized setup of the virtual machine's CPU and RAM. Also, you can define the power status for the virtual machines after restoring. And just like backup, you can perform the restore jobs with advanced features, including the length-free transmission and multi-threaded transmission for the highly efficient speed. And in some cases, it is not necessary to restore the whole virtual machine because it is time consuming. But sometimes you just need to recover some particular important files or folders. So with Vinchin's granular virtual machine restore, you can directly download the specific files from Vinchin Backup Server instead of restoring the entire guest OS. This is much more convenient. And for one point I'd like to mention is that the granular restore is totally dependent on the backups. So this means that even the whole virtual platforms is crashed in your environment, you can still freely carry out the file level restore jobs on Vinchin Backup and Recovery. And the next restore function is instant restore. This is used for some emergency situations like your critical business virtual machine is down. Then you can perform the instant restore to resume the business as soon as possible. The RTO can reach less than 1 minute. And let me introduce you how does it work. The principle is that Vinchin Backup Server will connect the target virtualization and then create an instant restore virtual machine with the same configuration of the original virtual machine and mount the backup data on the instant restore virtual machine by using the NFS protocol. Thus, it can realize the continuous business running on the instant restored virtual machine. And the whole process will take within 1 minute, regardless of the virtual machine size. And after the emergency passed or in the business off time, you can schedule the migration jobs to transfer the data back to the production area. So there are 3 steps for the live migration to make sure the migrated virtual machine is in a data consistent way. So the first step is to migrate the original backup data to the original or the production area. And the second step is to migrate the new data generated on the instant restored virtual machine running time. And the last step is to power off the instant restored running virtual machine, migrate the last generated cache data generated during the power off time, then power on the migrated virtual machine. So with all these steps, it can be guaranteed that the data migrated to the new virtual machine is completed and keep the data consistent. And next, let me explain with you about Vinchin's exclusive V2V migration. As you can see on pictures on the right side, we support most of the market mainstream virtualizations bidirectional V2V migration. The V2V migration process is streamlined on Vinchin's solution. It is based on the backup and recovery process. Just like performing the normal recovery, no need to operate on the virtualizations or any extra configurations or the agent installation process. So because our self-developed VMC technology will automatically process with the conversion between the 2 virtualizations to complete the whole migration process. And for V2V migration, Vinchin supports the batchful virtual machine migration scenario and the instant virtual machine migration scenario for maintaining the critical business continuity. And in this year's new version, we also support a new platform, AWS EC2. So next part, let me share with you our disaster recovery solutions. Firstly, Vinchin support offsite copy for disaster recovery. If your environment have two independent data centers, you can deploy Vinchin backup server on each site to make them become the disaster recovery center for each other. In this way, it can protect your data center from server room level or any site level disasters like any huge human operation error or devastating the natural disasters like the earthquake and so on. So with Vinchin Backup offset copy, you can retrieve business critical data from the offsite center back to the primary site for the environment rebuild, or you can choose to directly carry out the instant restore jobs at the offsite data center to take over the business as soon as possible. And we also support the cloud archive for the disaster recovery. You can see we support a wide range of cloud objective storages, including AWS S3, the Microsoft Azure Civ3, Wasabi, and other more cloud platforms. You can archive the backup data to the cloud for a very long time. And just take the benefits of the cloud object storage for its ultimate durability and the optimized cost. It is suitable for the scenario that you are no longer using the data for now, but it is still has business value, and in some particular industries like banks, insurance, you must have to archive business data for a very long time to comply with the local data security laws or the regulations. So this is very useful solution for you. In addition, this is a very economic way for the disaster recovery because when the disaster happened, you can retrieve the business data from cloud for the environment rebuild. And Vinchin takes the security as the first consideration for our customers. So next, I'm going to explain with you how does Vinchin backup and recovery secure our customers' critical business data. First, Vinchin's solution is strictly following with the 3-2-1 golden backup strategy rules. So specifically to keep your data safe, secure, and recoverable at first time from any disaster happened, it is suggested that maintaining 3 copies of your data on 2 different storage types and better to save one of your copy offsite or in the cloud to resist any disaster happened and for the environment rebuild. And just as I mentioned before, Vinchin can totally support of this because we can support the offset copy function and the cloud archive function. And for the backup data, we can protect users' data safety from 3 dimensions. First, for the backup data safety, Vinchin supports the data encrypted transmission using the RSA algorithm and use the AES 256, the bank level encryption for backups data at rest. And second, for the system security, Vinchin supports the role-based access control so that you can assign a different user with different permissions. And you can also configure the blacklist and the whitelist IP address to control the IP access permissions to the backup server. And also we support the system self-configuration backups. for backing up the jobs, the system configurations related data. And the third protection level is the storage protection for protecting the backup data from any ransomware and malware attack. So with the kernel level storage IO monitoring, any unknown applications excluded from the whitelist will be blocked. And even the root users does not have the permission to delete or change anything on the backstage, the command line interface of Vinchin Backup server. So in this way, any accidental human error can also be avoided as well. So this ensures the highest level of the security for our users' backup data on the Vinchin Backup and Recovery. And lastly, for the backup task real-time monitoring, Vinchin offers the advanced data virtualization functionality. As you can see in this picture, it displays a real-time overview of Vinchin backup and recovery infrastructure in a single graphic screen. So users can monitor the real states of all tasks of each module, like the virtual machine backup module, exclude for virtual machine module, users can also monitor the file backup, the server backup, the database backup modules with this function. So this is very suitable for the conference room scenario for our customers. Okay, so that's all for my presentation part. Thank you very much for listening. And I'm sure now you have some ideas about our product for protecting the virtual machines. So if you are interested in it, you can also download our trial link on our official website.
To respond to today's subject of webinar, I will show you how to use Vinchin to do protection for your virtual machine, both the process of backup and restore. Now you see the login page. Vinchin Backup and Recovery is based on the Rocky Linux system, which is known for its enhanced security. It is provided as an ISO image that includes both the operating system and the Vinchin software package. You can install it either on a physical server or as a virtual machine. And after installation, you can conveniently use it through the web console. Now we log into the system. Okay, this is a home page which contains system information, and you can see the function menu is on the left side. And you can see in the monitor center, you can check some details of the jobs, alerts, logs, reports, and the system. And here are some items Vinchin can protect for you. We include virtualization and cloud. Now we support AWS EC2 and physical server, which includes files and the database and the physical servers. And we also support for NAS backup, and application backup includes Microsoft 365. And here's another advanced feature is server CDP. Now we will let's take a virtual machine backup as an example to see how Vinchin can back up your production environment. Vinchin supports agentless virtual machine backup. Agentless means you don't need to install agent on each VM. Before we start backup job, we need to do some preparations first. The first, we need to add storage on Vinchin, which is used for to restore your backup data. Now you can see the various storage that Vinchin can support, like local disk, local directory, logic volume, and fiber channel, SCAS, NFS, and CRFS. You can use this storage for on-premise backup, and also you can add offsite storage for offsite DR and cloud storage for cloud DR. And the second step is we need to add virtualizations on Vinchin. Here we can see Vinchin supports up to 15 mainstream virtualizations like VMware, Hyper-V, Citrix, and so on. And after two preparations are finished, then we can start a VM backup. For taking a backup job, here are total of 4 winners. Firstly, we should choose a VM that you want to protect. You can choose the single or multiple VMs, or even the whole virtualization. Here we select one as example, and we click next. The second winner is to choose your backup destination, where to store your backup data. And we click next. And the third step is to configure your backup strategies. Here we can see the general strategy. We can configure our backup schedule. Generally, we recommend our customer to set a full backup weekly and combined with incremental backup with daily. And next is throttling policy. You can set the throttling policy to limit the transfer speed. And next is data storage policy. You can enable data deduplication and compression to reduce the backup data size, with compression rates reaching up to around 15%. And you can also enable data encryption to secure backup data. And next is retention policy. You can set short-term retention policies for backup data using retention points or retention chains. Or you can set long-term retention by enable GFS tags. And the next is transmission strategy. For higher efficiency and security, you can use SAM-based transfer, which accesses production storage directly on the backup server without passing through the virtualization layer. And this mode is more efficient and secure compared to the LAN-based transfer. And after completing the configuration, we can take an overview. If there's no other problem, so you can submit this job. Here we can go to the monitor center. Here we have already created a backup job. After the job is finished, then we will get a restore point. So basically, this is how Vinchin do the backup for the VM. And after the backup is finished, then you can use the backup data for VM restore. Vinchin provides 3 ways to restore. The first basic approach is full restore. And the second is instant restore, which is used for some emergencies, like when you have some critical VMs down, you can use this feature to resume business immediately. Normally, the RTO will less than 1 minute. And the third one is granular restore. In some cases, maybe you just need to restore specific files or folders. Then our granular restore feature can be helpful. Here, I will show you how to create restore jobs. Here we select this restore point. For taking four restore job, here there are also four wizards to create. The first is to choose your restore point, and the second step is to choose your restore destination. Here we also select the rimworld as your restore destination. Oh, okay, maybe we need to wait a minute. Please be patient. Okay, and on the bottom of this page, here we can see the VM configurations tab. Here we can do some pre-configurations for your restored virtual machines. Like you can set your name, CPU, your RAM, and the virtual disk, virtual network. But we also recommend to use the default configuration and click next. The third step is to choose your restore strategy. Here we also choose land-free mode to transfer the data. And the next step is to have an overview of your job. Okay, we submit this job. Here we can see the job. The job it has created successfully. And next is instant restore. For instant restore, the Vinchin will use NFS protocol to mount your restore point data to your target platform. Okay, here we also take this point as an example. First, we choose the restore point, and next we choose the target host. They are in the same page. Okay, here we also need to wait a minute. Here you can see the VM configurations. Also the same, we can do some preparations for your restored VM. We can rename the VM as this one. Okay. Now we submit the job. Here we can see the job details page. This job has started successfully, and we need to wait a second. Then our instant restore point will created on the target platform. Okay, now we can check on the target platform. Here you can see this is a instant restored VM by using our Vinchin's instant restore feature. Okay, the third is granular restore. We can use this feature to restore some specific files or folders instead of restore the whole virtual machine. Here we can see the files, all the files of the restore point virtual machine. By download the specific files, then you can finish your operation. Okay. The above is all the backup and recovery that I want to introduce about the virtual machine protection today.